Oh, so she wasn't. Throw for messes. Yeah, yeah. Hey guys,
Hello.
September 4th, and we just saw
Gamer.
Gamer. If you couldn't. What accent is that?
I don't know.
We just
Some of
saw
us don't
Gamer
know.
with Gerard Butler, Michael C. Hall,
Yes.
directed by
Neveldine Taylor.
Neveldine
The same people that did Crank and Crank 2 and wrote Pathology. They also wrote this movie.
If you're gonna do that accent, we need a translator. Crank and Crank 2. High
Crank and Crank
voltage.
2. I'm all sweaty from walking, so it's not sticking on my face right now. But yes, Neveldine Taylor, the guys that did Crank 2 and wrote Pathology, they also wrote Gamer and directed.
I went into this movie hesitant because if you have seen the trailer for it, it looks very much so like Running Man,
Yes.
but futuristic. The basic overall plot is sometime in the near future because they're never specific about the year.
It's soon after this exact moment.
That's how it starts off. The obviously like all futures were based upon entertainment and a mixture of brutality and reality shows.
Like The Condemned.
But this one had like an actual interesting like side story to it with nanotechnology, and because it's about how inmates that are on death row are given the option to be on the show, and if they can win 30 rounds of basically going from point A to point B through gunfire and missiles and helicopters.
Trying to get the most points of killing people. I don't know if you ever played like online. Fuck it. Like if you play video games, you know, whoever gets most points at the end of the match wins.
Mm-hmm.
Except there's no timer for these matches. It's just whoever gets
Which would
the
kind of
save
be
point.
like the Running Man, 1980s Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jesse Ventura. But the difference is that instead of the inmates controlling their own actions through nanotechnology in the future, people are allowed to purchase the opportunity to play as these people.
Yes.
So you're made basically a human video game. But it had a lot of interesting. I don't know, like just seeing like there's this thing in it. It's kind of funny because it's like a futuristic version of The Sims.
Oh yeah, Society.
It's called
what
Society, and it's
you pay to play as other people, or if you need a job,
you
can,
work
yeah,
as
you're
people
in
that are
society and people
controlled.
control you. But they make you do so. Apparently, it's pretty much just one giant rave where people just dance out in public.
Yeah, I was like, why
have
would you
sex in
pay to
cars.
control someone just to do the robot? But that's why they do it.
But the thing about that is you don't feel what whoever you're controlling as feels.
Yeah, you don't like. I got confused with that a lot because I was like, oh, if you're controlling other people and you're getting them to like have sex and stuff, you're like, oh, I'm feeling it. But no, it's just there's some sadistic part of you that likes controlling someone else.
They constantly show this really. Imagine the fat dude from Seven, who died.
Yeah.
It's him, but he's alive, and like one of those like
in a wheelchair,
3-wheeled like riders that you see like the fat people at like
with
Walmart
a bowl of
ride.
syrup and waffles.
Yeah, he dips the waffle. He's so every time they show him, I just get so disgusted. It's gross.
But overall, acting wise, Gerard Butler, I think he's come. Like I mean, I liked him in 300.
I really liked him in the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. But I think like in this film, like I mean he's starting to take the action hero role.
Yeah.
He's starting to make it his own, and I mean that's a good thing because I've seen a lot of what's that Channing Tatum
Channing Tatum. Yeah.
that was in Fighting, not an action hero. I don't want to see him as an action hero. I don't want him anywhere near it. But Gerard Butler, I could accept as like the next I don't know what Van Damme or Steven Seagal.
And he's starting to like not let his Scottish accent through.
Yeah.
Which
is better acting.
Yeah.
So, and Michael C. Hall, if you don't know, from Dexter and
6 Feet Under.
6 Feet Under. Hasn't he been in a movie recently too? Besides this?
No.
Really?
He's been working on Dexter.
I feel like I've seen him in something. But excellent job. I think his character is very well written. And for once, like if you can't tell by the trailer, and you can, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
But like
he has a really menacing.
Yeah, and he's got a good story. It's like one of the biggest
plan too.
Badass moves in a while as far as bad guys. Reminds me of Cohagen from Total Recall. I'll blow this place to kingdom come and be home in time for cornflakes. I always remember that line. But it's really good, and it's very stylistic.
Yeah. The one thing I noticed about them is they like to use the fisheye lens.
Yeah, that.
Which I don't know if I would put.
I'm
that
not a
in
fan of the
actual movie.
fisheye lens. If you don't know what that is, that's the lens that like CKY uses
Makes
and
everything
stuff.
rounder.
It,
Like
it,
you
it
look
gives a
into
wider
fisheye.
perspective.
But
Of
I
everything.
wouldn't use it in like
That type
like
of
an actual
scene.
movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they gave it started off very much. I felt like maybe this is a bad comparison, but I felt like it was kind of Children of Men.
Yeah.
Very, very freehand, very action based, very documentary style, following through
The
rubble
battles,
and shooting. And they threw a lot of like technology and good edits in it, I think too.
The sound.
Sound
It was really
editing. I
good.
think I turned to you during it. I was like, wow, the sound editing is really good. And maybe I think also the theater's sound was like really cranked up.
It really was.
But
Crank.
overall, I give this film about a 4 out of 5. I was very entertaining. The only problem I had with it was the fact that it felt longer than it was. I think it was only like an hour and 35 minutes, something like that. And it felt a lot longer. But not saying it was bad. It's just one of those movies where it feels a little long.
I give it a 7 out of 10. Because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't go in there expecting anything special. And, I didn't receive anything special. But I got what I paid for.
Yeah, definitely
A bunch of
entertaining.
people dying. And there's a lot of good cameos.
Quickly, also this week, I saw
This
Extract.
movie would turn your face into a shit popsicle.
He didn't see Extract.
I didn't
I
see
saw
Extract.
Extract.
Saw it.
Mike Judge's film. If you know, he wrote and did King of the Hill, right?
Yeah.
And Office Space.
Beavis
Don't
and Butthead.
compare it to Office Space. That's the only thing people are like, oh, it's no Office Space. Office Space wasn't Office Space until people made it a cult classic. Stop. I hate when that's done. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's a simple story, but it's very funny. Jason Bateman. Clifton Jr. again in
Clifton
something
Collins.
else. Clifton Collins Jr. And the guy that plays Schillinger, I always forget his name. What's it?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. He's like the dad in Hot Rod, and the dad in Juno. Very funny film.
And the dad in I Love You, Man.
He's the dad in everything recently.
And
And Ben Affleck's in it. And for once, I didn't recognize him as Ben Affleck. I'm not a big Ben Affleck fan. He is, but I felt like he really
Ben
stepped
Affleck.
out of his normal wimpy self.
And Mila Kunis.
Really enjoyed it. DVD recommendations for the week. I'm not gonna pronunciate any of these directors or actors and actresses because it's a foreign film, German. It's Run Lola Run. I have it on the Blu-ray here, but comes with commentary and the music video Believe. But basically, it's a story of fate. It's a lot of people. It's kind of hit or miss with some people. It's basically the same story, 3 different ways showing how if single small events are changed a fraction of the amount, your entire future from then can be altered. So I really like ideas like that, concepts like that. You can watch it in either dubbed or in the German language. I prefer the German language because you lose a lot when you go through dubs. But definitely check it out if you get a chance. Run Lola Run.
I didn't know you were choosing that. I also chose a foreign film.
Oh.
It's not German, it's French. It's JCVD, directed by, I don't know how to, Sidonie Dumas or whatever.
JCVD.
Yes. Pretty much is Jean-Claude Van Damme plays himself after losing a big role to Steven Seagal and losing his wife or his daughter to his wife in the custody hearings. He goes back to Brussels and is involved in a bank robbery. It's shot really well. Have you seen it?
I keep meaning to. You've watched it like 5 times and I haven't seen it once yet.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie, and he can. I would like to see him in more things because I really like him in this movie. He can show that he can actually act and not just kick the crap out of people.
And quickly, next week coming out is
Who's coming out next week?
9. Is a
9.
Wednesday release,
It's on
September
Wednesday.
9th. I'm looking forward to it. I have screener tickets on Tuesday, so
Whiteout,
Whiteout, yeah, and
which I would have had screener tickets for on Wednesday, but unfortunately I work.
and that's all the time we have for this week. So stay tuned next week for my review at least of 9, and you'll probably try to see it as well.
I will try to see it. Maybe I'll go and sneak in or something.
Until next
You
time,
never know.
I'll be watching.
Shit popsicle.